All right. Director's take, balance preview for Season 8. Is this an Aaron Keller one? Probably. This is one of the 2 remaining director's blogs for 2023. We'll release another one in 2 weeks, and that'll take the last part of the year off for the holiday season before we pick up back again in the new year. That's typically normal. I'll be writing this one in a sort of turkey-induced fever dream, and the new one just after we launch Season 8. This will when we release our newest hero, Maga, along with quite a few balance changes for the game. We'll take a look at those changes and touch on a few other topics as well, which is good. We're making a general change to the amount of ult charge retained when swapping heroes, reducing it from 25 to 15. That's big. Whoa. I have never been a big fan of keeping ult charge. I've thought it's a really stupid gimmick, and it's really kind of part of the thing that forces people counter swapping constantly and like rewards you for doing it. Hot take, maybe get rid of the whole damn thing. Go back to Overwatch 1. There was no reason, like, you're swapping characters, like you're getting an advantage by swapping characters. You shouldn't also keep ult charge. That's what I think, but we do like this mechanic. This mechanic removes friction when swapping heroes, but there's too much counter swapping at the moment. I think there still should be at 15%. However, there is a perception that it's almost always an advantage to counter swap upon dying, and lowering this value to see if it has an effect on swap rates. I like that they're aware of that. However, though, obviously, it is a big problem. It actually is a massive problem, especially for tank roll. Other two, not as much, but tank roll especially. We're also looking at making additional changes to some core mechanics in the game for Season 9 that will line up with the release of the competitive overhaul. We're not quite ready to talk about what those are yet, but I thought I'd like to tease a bit because, well, I'm a tease. All right, dude. Let's look at changes coming from our heroes in Season 8, starting with some of the larger changes we have coming to our tanks. Let's go. We released a reworked Roadhog late in Season 7. Roadhog quickly became one of our top-performing tanks with a win rate around somewhere 54%. There's been a lot of feedback around his kit, but we're going to hold off from making any changes at the start of Season 8. Maga has a lot of answers to Roadhog, and we'd like to see where the meta settles a bit before aiming at the mid-season patch for any balance adjustments. That's interesting. I figured Roadhog was probably about 50%, but 54 is a little higher than I thought. I thought maybe like 52, maybe 51. There are times when Doomfist players use his ultimate purely as an escape. It is a little disappointing to activate Meteor Strike and intentionally land on a health pack rather than on enemy players. Starting in Season 8, Doomfist will now regenerate 75 health per second while in the air. What? We're slightly increasing the cost of the ult in order to compensate for the buff. Huh? Wait. That's the highest healing in the game. So Doomfist in... Actually, no. Is Roadhogs higher? Roadhogs might be higher, actually. Roadhogs might be higher. That is like the highest healing in the game. That is crazy. I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't know. We'll see. Tanks are supposed to take and create space, and when Ramattra is in his base form, he can be a little too easy to ignore. We're going to shift 100 of his health to armor. Oh. And we're slightly increasing the size of the damage of his projectiles to see if this helps. Whoa. That's actually low-key a massive buff. 100 health to armor is good, but this one, depending on how big it is, like, no offense to you guys, but not many people are good with the left click and Ram's staff form running around. Like, you guys just really aren't that good at it. But if you've ever actually hit all headshots on somebody, like walking by, like really quick, like, and just running them over with it, they explode. So if you hit people with that, oh man, I don't know. Also, if you're wondering why I'm ignoring alerts, there's a lot of shit happening because of the Gifties event that's going on up here. I could quite possibly not get all of them, but I hope you guys know I do genuinely, truly do appreciate it. I hope you guys know that. Seriously. Thank you so much. Winston isn't the best matchup for other tanks. This is part of his kit. Feels the disadvantage, but the disadvantage feels too extreme. We'd like to alleviate it a bit in Season 8. Winston's Tesla cannon will now ignore damage reduction. Oh! Wait a minute. Your time is coming to an end, Brig players. Your time is coming to an end, you little shits. That is actually fucking massive. No, you guys don't. No, but like, you don't understand, chat. You don't understand. Armor was what kept Winston from being so good in like certain metas, like goats. Like there was technically floats Winston meta, Winston goats, but you typically played Ryan goats because he was just so much more survivable, and you didn't do as much damage versus the D.Va and the Ryan in the break. But removing that now. Oh man, I think Winston gonna be crazy. Moving on to a few of the changes for our DPS heroes. Let's start with Sombra. She's had a lot of moving parts recently. We feel like she's in a much better spot. Her win rate hovers around 45 to 48% depending on the rank. However, her ultimate isn't as satisfying as it could be, so we're going to raise the ability lockout time for EMP from 1.5 to 3 seconds. Yeah, it's dive next season. Winston buff and Sombra buff to, oh boy. And reduce the amount of damage it does from 30 to 25% of maximum health. Oh boy. You know, oh man, I don't know about this one, Chief. I feel like we're just going back to Overwatch 1 little by little. You know what I mean? We'll see, I guess. We'll see, but the EMP, the whole idea of being locked out of your abilities is the whole reason why Sombra got reworked for Overwatch 2 anyways. You know what I mean? So it's like, and but then there's always going to be people that are like, chat, Buffets, it's just the ult. Yeah, well, you guys said that about Brig, and then Brig's win rate skyrocketed, and then everyone went, shut up, streamer. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Soldier 76 has enjoyed a lot of the success in Season 7. He's a really well-rounded DPS, and the self-sustain from his heal can make him quite difficult to deal with while he's in the radius. Rather than reducing the effectiveness of the heal, we'd rather open up larger windows of opportunity, increasing the cooldown from 15 to 18 seconds. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay. Wow, they're coming out here just like telling us everything early. This is great. Does anybody remember how much damage Tracer's pulse pistols do? I wouldn't blame you if you don't, because we've changed them a lot. If you guessed 5.5 damage per shot, you'd be right, but not for long, because we're changing them again back to 6. Oh yeah, dive meta for 100%. It's dive meta for sure. The previous change to 5.5 was made to offset a bug with the fall off and spread, and now those bugs are fixed. We're moving them back. Yeah, it's GG. Yeah, it's dive meta next season for sure. Anna, Brig, Sombra, Tracer, Winston. It's already wraps. I don't care what any of the rest of the changes are. It's already wraps. Let's look at our support changes. Brig was the best performing support hero since the last patch. Wow, who would have said that? Who could have guessed that? When all the people like, but dude, I see this all the time on Reddit, TikTok, Twitter, whatever. People like, but Brig is the most balanced support. Like, oh my god, people can play Ana and Bap, and don't get me wrong, Bap's strong. Oh my god, but Brig is actually super balanced. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys smoking, dude? Just because, like, what the fuck? Hello? Don't get me wrong, I don't think she's like as OP as she has been in the past, but like she's still extremely strong. Like, I can turn my brain off and play Brig. It's really not that difficult. I'm sorry. But yeah, so we're seeing feedback that she's becoming a must pick. We're going to revert the damage on Whipshot, try to bring her back in line, but we're also looking at her damage potential of Baptiste, and we're lowering the primary fire ammo from 45 to 36. Holy shit, they are cooking! Wait, this patch is cooking! Oh my god, that's a major nerf, 45 to 36. Yeah, Brig never even needed that buff, let's be real. And the whole reason why Brig felt balanced compared to the rest is because everybody else was gigabuffed. Now that they're all getting nerfed, it's like, oh, surprise, bitch. So anyways, though, yeah, dude, they're kind of cooking with this. I like this. This is a good patch so far. I'd like to touch on one of the items mentioned in the last director's take, specifically the leave rate in quick play matches. Based on the recently implemented set of penalties for leaving too many matches, that rate has gone down considerably. There's been a lot of talk about it, specifically that some people view the mode as something that they would like to have the freedom to leave without worrying about those penalties. Different people play quick play for different reasons. Some people see it as their try-hard version of the game. Those people are terrible people. If you are somebody that constantly gets mad at people and wants people to try hard in quick play, I'm sorry, you're just insecure. Play comp. That's the whole point of a competitive game mode. Whenever you say to somebody, why do you treat quick play like a try-hard game mode? They're like, well, I just want to try, and I want my teammates to try. It's like, why don't you play comp? Oh, I'm too scared. You're the problem. Look in the fucking mirror. So anyways, yeah, these people are terrible. Anyways, some view it as an experiment with new heroes. That's good. That's valid. And others use it as their casual, just for fun version of the game. That is valid. It's really difficult to have this part of the game be all things for all people. In the past, we talked internally about whether we need to have a third main queue in the game in order to have different areas to serve people at different levels of seriousness, but don't think that players would voluntarily move into the appropriate queue of their particular style. That's a bad idea. Guys, don't do that. Bad idea. You have comp. Comp is supposed to be the try-hard game mode. It's named that for a reason. It's called competitive. So if you want to try hard, trying hard at something and trying to compete in something is called a competition. And being in competition with others makes it competitive. That's why we have the game mode. Do not cater to those people. Bad idea. Anyways, in regards to leaving penalties for quick play matches, the reasoning behind this is the frequent leavers do have an effect on other people in the match. True, degrading its quality. I'll give them that for sure. There are some players that literally leave over 90% of their matches, and we can no longer stick to a black and white policy because of this. The policy is still very lenient, probably too lenient, where players need to leave almost a quarter of their most recent matches in order to trigger the light penalty. True, that it is actually a good amount, to be fair. We'll continue to look at this and tweak those policies in an attempt to promote better match quality, but without harsher restrictions of ranked play. That's it for the week. Thanks for reading, and we'll see you in game. Yo, Aaron, hey, yo, brother, if you hear this someday, I hope you know you guys are kind of cooking recently. You guys have been kind of cooking. Patches have been pretty good. There's still a few things that I would probably like make if I could if I could get in there and like turn all the knobs. I'd probably make a few more little tweaks. But so far, things have been cooking pretty well. The ult charge thing, the ult charge from 15 to 15, I think is a good change. I would honestly, personally, I'd just put it to 0, but I know that they want to do crawl, walk, run, like see how things go. Understandable. The Doom buff, yeah, the Doom buff, yeah, it's gonna be a dive season for sure. Especially with Sombra Tracer buffs. So, anyways, you support players out there, get ready to learn how to play Brig, because you are going to need to know how to play Brig this season, for sure. And that is not even no, I'm not joking. Like, seriously, get a head start. Learn how to play Brig now, because you're going to need it. Ana will probably be still pretty good, though. So, Bap will probably still be pretty good. And Ilaria still be... Nah, Ilaria's not going to be that good with it. She'll probably still be okay. But anyways, overall, pretty good patch. I hope there's more to this patch than just these things. Because that isn't a ton of stuff. I'm sure this is just like a sneak peek type of thing. But hey, I like this. Good transparency. Looks like Season 8 is going to be pretty decent. Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be more changes because there's Maga's supposed to be getting buffed, but they didn't talk about it in this. So there'll definitely be more. But yeah, things are looking pretty good for Season 8 so far. So sounds good to me.